India has so much resilience, India has so much strength, India is full of possibilities, the world's fastest growing economy. We have strong economic fundamentals. I think the media seems to be more concerned than even the business people of India.
So if I could just begin, what should we expect after 2 days, 3 days to be precise?
As a chartered accountant, I normally audit and report on matters that have already happened. And for the future, we make intelligent future projections. At the present juncture, I think you'll need to ask that to an astrologer.
Well, nice one there, but I will still come to you on this. In your projections, are you figuring out some kind of a deal going forward? And is that a possibility which industry leaders also should keep in mind or keep in their calculations?
Well, amongst the many works at hand, that is one issue which we are also addressing with a very open mind, a positive outlook, and the confidence that the India-US relationship is very consequential, very important for both countries. I've been engaged with industry in India. I've been engaged with companies from the US working in India. Everybody believes that this is an important engagement, relationship. At the same time, and I just had a very, very large conglomerate owner, business person from Mumbai in my office a few hours ago. Knowing the press, they'll now start finding out sources who can tell me who it was, or tell them who it was, who started by telling me that while I will tell you that I am an exporter to the United States and I'm concerned about the current situation, I would like to first start by telling you that we stand fully with the government of India. We are committed to the nation. We have alternatives. We are working on several alternatives and super confident that this year will be better than last year.
Super. You mentioned alternatives. While industry is definitely looking at alternatives, we've seen some shifts in India's own policy or India's own relationship. And I'd like to mention our northern neighbor.
Well, I think that shift has nothing to do with this current situation. The problem started post-Galwan. After the agreement was reached on the important border issues, we had already started re-engaging. And I think that was completely unlinked to any matters related to the current trade agreement with the United States. So I would not like to hyphenate or link the two.
We've done a bit of relaxation in visas, and there have been a lot of positive statements coming from the other side as well. Your ministry is in charge of the Press Note 3, which controls investments. Are you also reviewing that?
Deepshika is looking for a headline here.
Absolutely.
Well, I think if you recall, the Press Note 3 came in at a point of time when we had just started seeing a tremendous fall of values post the COVID crisis. Early 2020, when the global pandemic hit the world, we saw a massive dip in valuations of companies, both in the stock market and otherwise. At that point of time, in order to make sure that we do not lose out strategic values owned by Indians to foreign takeovers, particularly from countries which at that point of time were out there buying out stakes in other parts of the world. We decided on coming out with the Press Note 3. It was a decision which was important at that point of time and also related to our strategic interest in certain sectors which we wanted to remain in Indian hands. And it does not ban FDI from anywhere. We only take a cautious approach and there's a pre-approval. Post that, we have given approval to many companies. Many in the room may have received an approval, many may not have received an approval. It's a process that is going on. Wherever we find that the industry in question, the technology in question, the supply chain in question aligns with the vision of India, we have been regularly giving approvals, and the same process will continue in the future.
So it will continue.
Well, I can only speak about the situation today. As I said, when the times change, situations change, decisions can be made to suit the times.
Well, decisions can change according to if times change. If I could just take you away from what's happening in the neighborhood, you are in talks with multiple countries, trade blocs. One can forget the count in terms of the number of trade deals that you are negotiating. What's happening with the European Union at this juncture? You've set the target as December, but where are we now?
I have not set that target. Our leaders set that target before the year end. We've made very rapid progress. I've had an occasion to meet my counterpart from the EU, Maros Šefčovič, on several occasions in the last few months, both in New Delhi, in Mumbai, Brussels, Paris. That's it, yeah. And I can only tell you he's a great guy. We get along very well with each other. Other than taking a liking to each other, we started understanding each other. And I've always held a very clear vision when we do trade deals. I have to protect national interests. I have to protect sensitive sectors. And we usually now work with different countries with the pre-understanding before even getting into negotiations. You respect my sensitivities, I respect your sensitivities. There are areas of concern in every country in the world. So the European Union also has certain areas which are very sensitive to them. We respect that, as they respect ours. And therefore, I think it will not be difficult to come to terms on the trade front. There are certain non-tariff barrier issues on both sides, which are majorly under consideration and discussion. But having struck a deal with Australia, with the United Kingdom, the largest trade deal so far, most comprehensive trade deal, nearly 30 chapters. We've never had such a deal before. With the 4-block EFTA nations. And mind you, UK and Switzerland were always the most aggressively against our IPR policies, intellectual property laws. And in both these trade deals, we have a robust IPR chapter. So that is the extent of evolution India is seeing in matters related to trade and free trade agreements. We are talking to EU on a very regular basis. Ministers are going to be coming to India. Our teams are going to be traveling to Brussels. After Maros's visit, maybe I may go there again. So we are working very actively, and I would think it's very much doable. Similarly, New Zealand will be over in the next couple of months. Oman should be over by next month. Chile and Peru are putting a lot of bandwidth into the agreement. In fact, we don't have enough bandwidth to be able to handle so many engagements at the same time. There are at least 3 or 4 more whom I have agreed to fast track, but I still need to devote resources to that. We are working with Eurasia on a Central Asia and other countries deal. So there's a lot on the plate. And India is looking at the entire situation very strategically, realistically, and is not reacting to the situation, but is actually proactively working with trading partners with whom we can expand business, with whom we can have transparent economic systems or trading systems,